the insight into the inner workings of Tony Khan's creative mind is right there for us all to see, starting with Swerve Strickland. And we're going to get back to that fucking parody of a parody that they call the main event, or the way they ended the show, I should say. Get back to that. But let's go back to Swerve Strickland. Wins the championship, wins the title. Celebration. Everybody's excited for him, including me, by the way. And what do? They shit all over him in the opening segment by putting him into a match that doesn't fucking matter with a guy that doesn't matter.
Respectfully, it wasn't even the open segment.
Okay, it wasn't. It was the opening match.
No, but I'm just saying, why didn't they open the show? I mean, very rarely do I get on here and talk about current stuff, but why didn't they open the show with a Swerve promo, a big victory lap, a celebration? Tell us what we can expect. Someone interrupts him. There's a challenge. Maybe that's our main event for this weekend. That's sort of what we.
That's all I'm saying. Why couldn't he get a promo opening as the brand new champion? That's what Conrad Thompson and Eric Bischoff. I know some people have their, reservations about Eric Bischoff, but sometimes he does have a point. Same with Vince Russo. Now, am I the biggest fans of Vince and Eric Bischoff? No. I'm going off what they're stating. Why couldn't he get a world champion like that? Like I said, it's about marketing. That's all I'm saying. We go to Eric Bischoff, per man. Oh, Romy one. Come on, man. We got to look past that, man. We got to look past that. That was back in the 90s. Is he in the Fed? I know it looks like it. I know it looks like it, Romy one. You ain't right, man. You ain't right, man. Oh, man, you ain't right for saying that. He in the shit. Tell me you didn't just say that, man.
Tell me you did not just say that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying I'm the biggest Eric Bischoff or Russo fan. Some things I do agree. All of it, no, I don't. You said parody like the Warrior Hogan matches, and yes, you said. Oh, man. Hey, think that vignette. He said, I'd rather listen to Russo, at least he helped talent. He did. And Russo also was responsible for kicking the Attitude Era off. He was the writer behind that. But other than that, though, that's all I'm saying. They made a good point, clear point right there in the beginning. Why wasn't Swerve in the beginning segment of the show? Same thing I was saying a couple minutes ago. With that being said, let's continue on.
We normally get, or to your point, we have him dominate somebody pretty early on. That didn't happen. Instead, we got the Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, Orange Cassidy segment in Seg 1. I think that probably should have been Swerve and set up a match. But him wrestling Kyle Fletcher in the second segment on the show, and the last match on the show is going to be for the New Japan World title. It's hard for me to.
It's even beyond that. You're talking about formatting the match and where the show should, where what should be. Swerve Strickland shouldn't have had a fucking match. We should still be in celebration mode. We should be in the mode of getting him over. Just because you put the title on him and you give him, that 15 minutes of spotlight and shine on a pay-per-view that probably 150,000 people watch, that's not getting him over.
No.
The bringing up New Japan. Who is the president of New Japan? I can't remember his name. Tanahashi, yesterday, social media, talked about how impressed he was at the rapid rate in which WWE is able to make stars.
That's an AEW partner saying that, by the way.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. And the reason for it is WWE and the creative behind WWE understands how to make a star. Tony Khan clearly doesn't. I agree with you, Tony.
I don't know about that.
No. You got to let me go. You can't interrupt me. I agree with you.
I don't know about that.
No. You got to let me go. You can't interrupt me. Just give me a second.
Okay.
If Tony Khan had a fucking clue, even if it was a passing clue. Like he had it in his mind for a second and it left, and he can hold on to it and just think about it for like, I don't know, 45 seconds. Strickland is in a unique opportunity to be a real babyface. You put the title on somebody because you want them to be the focus of your show. That's your A fucking story. And if your world champion is not your A story, then you have proven to the world that you do not know how to produce television or book wrestling. It's fucking 101. Get him over. 150,000 people, maybe, I don't know what the number's going to be, saw the pay-per-view. 800,000 on average people watch AEW.
Right.
Well, how about we smarten up the other 650,000 people in a way, not just smarten them up by telling them, oh, Swerve Strickland won a title. Yay! Yay, isn't this great? Yay, feel good moment. But we're going to kind of put that off to the side because we're going to focus over here on this story. Why do it? And you know what's going to happen? Here's the fucking crystal ball, all right? And why I think if I was Swerve Strickland right now, I'm almost hotter about this than I am about the bullshit at the end. If I'm Swerve Strickland right now or his agent, I'm on the phone going, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing to my career? You're giving me a moment and not allowing me to really get myself over as champion. You know what that means? He's going to end up dropping that title to the next bright, shiny object that comes along. And everybody's going to remember, well, Swerve Strickland has a shot, didn't move the needle, didn't last long. They're not building him.
Now, that's kind of similar to what I said. He needs to be remembered as a good AEW champion. And I think that is going to be the case if he ain't booked right. And that's exactly what Eric Bischoff's confirming in here in this interview on his podcast, 83 Weeks. EB's only highlights that gave Linda man the tongue. Oh man, he took it way back. I'm surprised Eric Bishop doesn't give Brutus Beefcake a job on the show. He gave him a lot of gives to WCW. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was okay having Jeff go to the ring, intoxicated, breast some this man up. Well, he's a man. Yeah, you got a point. You're talking about TNA Turning Point 2011. You had a story with Brett WCW after a screw job and buried him. EB, Eric Bischoff did some good things with Hogan, heel turn, and then went downhill like Lil Kim. Oh man, you crazy, 1v1. But yeah, that's what I mean. I just want him to have a good remembrance as AEW World Champion, not an afterthought. I mean, see, they do that with some champions. I just don't want Swerve to be part of that list. That bitch, let's continue on.
They're building zero equity into Swerve Strickland because of what they did last night. And what they did last night can be corrected, but you know, some of it can't be. Because they were in that moment. They could have replayed. Here's what I would have done. I don't want to fucking hate fantasy booking and armchair quarterback booking. I'm talking about specifically an issue here that I think should have never happened. Recap, open it up. That pay-per-view, yeah. Again, maybe 25% of the total audience that watches AEW actually buys a pay-per-view, which is, by the way, probably pretty good percentage. I think it speaks to the loyalty. I was on a show with Wise Choices last night with Bully Ray, and I think Bully Ray pointed out a good thing. One of the similarities that actually do exist between AEW and ECW is the fact that they each had very small but incredibly loyal audiences. And I agree with that. And I think the percentage of people that buy the pay-per-view for AEW versus the size of the audience, that percentage, relatively speaking, is respectable, if not fairly high. But nonetheless, there's 650,000 people on average that didn't even see it. They didn't get that moment. And yes, they covered it with clips in the show. Okay, that's like standard operating procedure. But a better approach, especially with Mike Mansouri, who's one of the best there is at this shit, that's on the AEW staff, is build me a mucker fucking package. I didn't say mucker fucking. I meant to say mucker fudding. It's early. But build us tell us a story in a video package. Take us back to the very beginning of his life, wrestling life. Give us some footage. Take us back to his very first independent wrestling match. Show us something that shows us where he started. And you can do this in a 3 or 4 minute package that would have gotten him over more than anything Tony Khan will ever be able to think of.
I'm not even going to lie on this one. What he said, that is gospel. That's definitely an undisputed comment he said.
And that is undisputed.
Yeah, that's all Tony really had to do. Just highlight the man and acknowledge him. And even like Eric said, make him a baby face. But he got some good points. Let's see what else he has to say during this interview.
Get this kid over. I call him a kid. Get this man over. And create some emotion that people that didn't watch the pay-per-view can also experience. And even the ones that did watch the pay-per-view are going to experience it at a heightened level, in a more emotional way. Or, as they say in the wrestling business, get the guy over. Get people invested in him. But fucking no! They're going to skip right over all that, throw him in a match that means absolutely nothing. They did nothing for his career, and no one is even going to be remembered by noon today.